Okay, this is the 60-60 sweat and stretch workout, one of my favorite workouts. I've been doing it for close to a decade now. Great for active recovery weeks, but also on our main program weeks, doing them in between as active recovery. So why do you do active recovery? Well, listen, in your program, each week you're trying to add more weight, you're trying to increase strength. You can't go more weight every single week of your life. Eventually your joints and our clients' joints will break down. And the muscles get overloaded. So you have to have a deload element to your program. You don't want to just stop working out, but you've got to have some recovery weeks where you're working out, you're getting some sweat in, you're getting some mobility drills, you're actually improving, but you're allowing your joints and the muscles to take the load off for a week. So that's kind of what you want to emphasize to our clients, because all they want to do is work out and they want to keep pushing weight. When people start getting injured, they need to start doing these active recovery workouts to feel better and allow their joints to repair. Okay, with that, 5 movements is all equipment free. They're not going to need anything except for the flexibility recovery portion. So they'll need a band, they'll need an aerobic step, possibly a plyo box, and I'll get to that in a second. But the 5 moves, basically 5 of my favorite bodyweight cardio moves. Stationary running, we're going to do each one for 60 seconds, stretch for 60 seconds, great workout, and we repeat that kind of 10-minute circuit twice, okay? Exercise 1, stationary running. Now, right off the bat, not everybody can run. This is your board. It may look backwards, I don't know, but let me get it up here. So that's the 5 moves. You put it up here. If it's backwards, just reference your cheat sheet. You can at least see this right here. I put a big blue box around biker climber. And that's how you want to put that up there, and you want to reference people and point them to everyone that has a blue bracelet. What does that mean? The blue bracelet means that they have not cleared their lunge test. They can't do a lunge, either poor ankle mobility, knee pain, or lack of lower body strength. If they can't do the lunge test, they definitely can't run. Running is advanced jumping and lunging, so they just can't do it. So they don't need to be running. So if they have a blue bracelet, you just tell them, hey, listen, you're not doing stationary running. Could you modify and do the march? Well, yeah, but they're not going to feel like they're getting much out of it. So here's where you give them a great alternative that will crush them. The spin bike or the vertical climber machines are great options. They can get in it and just absolutely brutalize it for a minute, feel like they're getting some out of it. Obviously, there's some battle rope options and things like that you can do, but I would say have those machines and just bike or climber and get after it. They'll feel like they got something out of it, and they'll be huffing and puffing at the end of the minute, and it keeps them out from running. Now, for everybody else, if they don't have a blue bracelet, get after it with the stationary run. It's pretty simple. We're going to get the arms past the rib cage. Nothing this right here. Get up on the balls of the feet. You go from a low-level trot into a high-knee run, back and forth. We just start to pick it up and really rip it up on the balls of the feet. And from there, round 1 is usually all I try to make them do. But round 2, because you go through this twice, you can give a nice fun option of stationary running with burpees. So basically they can go side to side into a burpee, back up into stationary run. So you start them from like a low-level trot into a high knee run, and then round 2, if you really want to push them, stationary running with burpees. All right, exercise number 2 is the defensive slide. Great exercise. Now we're getting our clients to move in that frontal plane, which is highly necessary. So we start in a nice athletic kind of baseball shortstop position here. Start there and start very slow on the defensive slides. Up on the, get them athletic, get them up on the balls of the feet. A big thing, especially for the deconditioned and overweight clients, you got to start them really slow. They can lose their footing fast and lose their balance faster and fall, and that's bad for both parties involved. So you want to get them here and start slow, and then from here, we just do based on your client's fitness level, tempo progression first. They can speed it up. Level 2, or I should say the second progression, is a range of motion. You got tempo, and then range of motion could be calf to ankle to actually touching the floor, back and forth, touch down here, side to side, touch down there. That gets them going. So you got your tempo and range of motion progression. Third progression, you can really utilize this to have some fun with it, and especially on the second round of this, is just like I did in the first exercise, integrate a burpee into it. So now I'm going to go side to side, bring it back over here, and then I like to get them into the burpee because I can put the burpee in with everything. Okay, exercise number 3 is the mountain climber. Classic exercise here. If your clients scan the room and see who has a red bracelet. If they have a red bracelet, that means they have not passed the push-up clearance test. That means they can't do one perfect push-up. And so they're gonna have a hard time being in a push-up position for a full minute moving their legs. So I would take those. They don't have to. If they want on the floor, that's fine. But I would encourage them, and you don't have to put up on the board, is just the box elevated mountain climber. It's a little bit easier from this position to get into it, and they can run it right here. And again, you can make it harder by going down to an aerobic step. That's even a little bit easier. Obviously, the floor is going to be the toughest. So you can do some tempo progressions with this also. So back up here, I can go slow knee-ins, even regress it to a push-up hold if I get absolutely smoked, and then start that back again. And then obviously running, that's your tempo progression. You can also integrate, once again, the burpee into it. So I can start from this right here, and I'm doing climbers, back up, I can add a jump to the top, back down, climber, 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 back into a burpee. Again, the burpee is the universal soldier. It can go with all of it. So that's a lot of pretty easy for everybody. Slow knee-ins, fast mountain climbers, and the ones that have the red bracelet, elevate their hands to make it a little bit easier so they can, because the key is for them to define something they can do for 60 seconds and feel crushed with. All right, exercise number 4 is the speed skater variation. Speed skaters are basically just what it says. They're low impact, low level, high tempo skaters. So the skater is, again, we're in that kind of athletic shortstop position, and I just want to start side to side, okay? Staying low, stay low, stay low. Not tall and not slunched over, but you're right here side to side, and then you can kind of see I can go quick, 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 quick. 60 seconds that. Now, you can integrate a couple things into this. Tempo obviously is faster, but also adding some, integrating a jump into it. So now, get them, push off this outer hip, explode, stick the landing. Stick, stick, stick. Now notice you're not doing the same speed and tempo that you were the other one because you're emphasizing the jump, the plyometric portion of it. So we're going to require more glute hip activation. It's going to train more muscles. It's what they want to do, but you got to stick the landing, so to speak. So I want to stick and hold, stick and hold, stick and hold, and once I get it, I can start to pick it up. Great to develop knee stability. They use it in physical therapy a lot. What can we do after that? Well, a lot of options. Guess what? We're going to add the burpee, yes, once again, into the skater. So I do this like on round 2. We've done the speed skaters, jumping skaters. Now I get into the skater burpees. So it's skate, 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 back into a burpee. Again, utilize that. Have some fun with, especially on round 2. All right, 5th and final exercise of the circuit is the vertical jump variation. So love this one because it mimics kettlebell swings when you don't have a kettlebell. So we start ground zero. I call it that because you don't have to get off the ground. So again, simulate a swing, that downhill skier position, and swing through, crunch the abs to the top. So really cool thing about this right here. People with knee pain, it loads up the back side of the body. Swing through, and then from here, a couple of things I can do. Coming overhead, increasing the rate of the arms. Get it going. I can start to elevate up onto just the toes. Then I can add the true jump, sticking the landing. Big key on this right here is landing mechanics and be able to absorb those ground forces. And the way you do that is the balls of the feet and flex knees. So I want to be able to stick, stick, stick and absorb that with your muscles, not your knees, back, and hips, okay? From there, we start to integrate some movement into it. Obviously, you can do some height, higher jumps. You can also get into working some rotational patterns, into the 90-degree jumps. 90, 90, 90. People that want to do 180, they can do it. But here's another option for the second round of this circuit, and that is to integrate, yes, you guessed it, the burpee into the mix. How do you do a burpee into the vertical jump? Well, really easy. I'm going to come here. Lots of options on this. I can do a single vertical jump into a burpee, which would be this right here. One jump, back into the burpee, reach back, jump, back into the burpee. Typically, that option, not so awesome because people will get a little sloppy with their mechanics. So I would stress at least 2 possibly 3 jumps before you add the burpee. So it is a jump, 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 back into the burpee, and add that. Make the emphasis on the vertical jump, not on the burpee. So once you do those 5 moves, that's a circuit. You repeat it twice. All right, now in between each 60 seconds of the sweat exercise, they're going to perform 60 seconds of a stretch exercise. This is actually the active recovery part of the portion. And I've sequenced each flexibility drill to match up with the exercise or the muscle group that they're using. So they'll work a muscle, stretch a muscle on through the workout. So exercise, active recovery exercise number 1 is going to be the couch stretch. So you utilize a box. Those can use a wall, can do a wall. I'm going to show this first. Those that can't get their foot elevated at all, get into just the Samson stretch. So left knee down, and I can stretch right here into the Samson stretch. I can add some rotation, and it kind of gets the job done for the people that can't get it elevated. Otherwise, up on a box, or they can choose to use a wall, and we're only going to stretch one side. Basically, for round 1, the entire circuit, you're only going to stretch the left side of your body, and then in round 2 you stretch everything on the right side. So you're not switching halfway on this. That's a big key. They don't have time. So left knee down, I'm stretching left quad, left hip flexor. If I want more thighs, I angle back more and try to extend the hip forward. If I want to get more hip flexor and psoas, rock forward so it transitions it up into more around their upper pelvis, upper quad. They can flow back and forth. They can get in a little bit of the Samson stretch. They can add some rotation. But again, 60 seconds on the left side. Okay, so this is the elevated pigeon stretch. We're going to use the aerobic step to elevate their shin a little higher off the ground to improve range of motion and also get into different corners that you can't get just from the ground. You can do the pigeon stretch on the floor for people that just can't get into it at all. But otherwise, aerobic step, I want to put the left shin up, and to keep this shin at about 90 degrees, so I don't want to bring this in like this towards the body. I actually want it 90 degrees or greater to accentuate more of that hip rotator. So here in that position, and then again I can have the back knee on the floor, or I can extend it back to make it more of a greater stretch. And from here, I just really want to floss side to side, get into all the tight corners. The elevated pigeon, which is one of my favorites, also allows you to get in and add a little reach and rotation on each side. And so I will be able to do this as it gets higher. I like to do this on the bed, but this is a good enough job to get that glute hip stretched out for the 60 seconds. All right, this is the band hamstring stretch. Again, we're doing left side for round 1, right side for round 2. We start, slip it right around the left foot, and the first goal is to keep this right knee bent. This is the support leg is here, and I want to keep it in a bent knee position to begin with, and I want to progress based on my flexibility. I might have to start here lower and get to where I can get it up completely vertical with maximal knee extension. You'll see some clients are missing terminal knee extension, and they're just not able to get that. That is the goal, and start at a low enough level that I can maintain that. Once I can, and those clients will probably have to do just static stretching, which is okay. Now once they can get in that vertical position, then we start the leg lowering. Flex, pull the toe back into the shin. The goal is not to get this heel to the floor. They can. The goal is to elongate and lengthen out that posterior chain down the hamstring and the glute. So if I can get it all the way, great. If not, no big deal. That's not the goal. And I just spend the 45 to 50 seconds working on the band hamstring. Okay, this is the adductor stretch, and often neglected inner quad and anterior hip position. Start in a 4-point stance and then extend the left leg out. And so many options on this. I can start to rock back and forth. I can add some rotation, which will get more hamstring into it. As I keep the toe pointed, I'm going to get more of that anterior hip and adductor muscle stretched out. Side to side, forward backwards, and rotationally is a great stretch. All right, this is the prayer stretch. This is the only one that you won't do single-sided. It's both sides. Elevate the hand, can be an aerobic step, can be a foam roller also. I'm going to show it on the box. It allows me to set back here and to get really deep. And for people that have, especially those that are wearing a white bracelet, they're wearing it because they can't reach overhead worth a dang, and this helps improve that position. So they can elevate it and drive through, and a couple different options. Working side to side, especially on a tighter side, add some rotation to it so I can improve the ability to press overhead. And if they're missing that range of motion, this is a great way to fix it. I can also go thumbs up or thumbs down. If they're using a foam roller, you can actually get some rotation off of that, and then do that for both rounds.